Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Say Report. I'm your host, Devin Decker, and joining me is my host companion, Sejan Sarwick. How you doing, Sejan?
I am doing very well, Devin, because I have leveled up. I have gone beyond the Sejan that you once knew.
Oh my god, I was not prepared for this. I know that we haven't recorded for like 10 days, but I didn't expect you to leave me those 10 days ago and come back in like Super Sejan 2. Like, Super Sejan I was okay with. You looked good with short blonde hair. But, like, blonde hair down your back, or is that Super Sejan 3? It's been a while since I've watched anything Dragon Ball Z related. And that's what I call it. I call it Dragon Ball Z.
Become a monkey.
That's 4, right? The golden monkey is 4. And that's from Dragon Ball GT, which a lot of people say is not canon. Because Akira is not his name, but he was not a part of it. And then he was a part of Dragon Ball Z, Super? So, Akira Toriyama? Is it Akira? Is his name really Akira? Hi, going right to the internet.
Be. That's a name.
Yeah, it is. But all I think about is, like, am I thinking about the thing? Yeah, Akira Toriyama. That's crazy. Because Akira is the thing with, like, the guy becomes a mass of flesh, right?
Well, yes, Akira is the first successful anime in the United States. Like, there's like a very specific like thing that it was, but it was basically the first anime movie that was brought to America that actually did well. And so, like, in addition to the fact that I think it's regarded highly also back in Japan. It's Akira, you and I should talk about Akira someday because I fucking love that movie. I have 3 different versions of it.
In order for us to talk about Akira someday, I would have to see Akira. I've never watched it. I'll just be
Get
honest
altered
with
as
you.
fuck and do it, man. It is wild.
Man, I love an episode where we've been away for a while, because you got no fucking problem 2 minutes into an episode being like, get altered as fuck. That's my season, by the way.
Well, I told you, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling loose because like I've got a new body. I'm a new man.
Okay, what has happened? We're not sponsored by testosterone supplements this episode, are we? I said all of those words incorrectly.
No, buddy. I have become cybernetic. I hook up to a machine at night, and I now breathe 1,000,000 times better.
Oh my god, this guy gets
I've
the fucking
got a C-Pap, brother.
machine. God, this guy. I don't know. Honestly, of all the things that you could have presented me with how you leveled up, C-Pap was not on the list. Jesus.
Yeah, man.
God, I would have.
I don't know how deep I want to.
No, that's fine. I was like, maybe he got acrylic nails. Like, that'd be a level up, right? You'd be like Lady Deathstrike. Lady Deathsiege? Nice. I don't know. Oh, good times. Great oldies. Before we go any further into this episode, I made a Devin Decker promise last episode in the Zexion report that I would give you the name of the creator of the game. And I am happy to report that it is Robert D. Allen. That is the name of the singular creator behind Zexion. And I gotta tell you, I haven't really played a lot this week. I found a new game that I haven't played enough of, but damn, do I want to. Sejan, I'd like you to type into Google right now, Mega Pony. I need you to see this. Everyone at home can do it too. Yeah, Mega Pony. I guess I'll do it as well, so that like everyone
doing this on my new lit keyboard. Ooh. Man, I've been doing a bunch of tech stuff this week because we'll talk about that later.
I mean, I did convert over my keyboard to the my silver Switch keyboard to the like gray ceramic keycaps. That keyboard's a dream. It types like crazy. It's not what I'm using here. I'm using the Say Report keyboard, but yeah. Also, I didn't realize you shared that beautiful picture of your naked keyboard. I think it's crazy that you completely made your keyboard naked before recapping it. I have never done that. I have always gone like methodically one key at a time. But I forgot that while I tried to get you a clear Switch keyboard, that they're like, oh, we've run out, so I'll have to send a silent red Switch keyboard to him. And I'm like, it's close enough. I think he'll be okay with that.
Really, I like the silent one. It's but yeah, no, I switched over to these Gummy, I think is the term for them, but basically, backlit. Gummy backlit is
Pudding.
the term.
They're pudding
That
keycaps.
that was on everything I was googling at
Yeah.
least. And what that is like they've got a really nice, not translucent, but like
It's like
opaque,
frosted. It's
like
nice.
side to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, frosted's a really good way to put it. But then they've got a nice splash of color right along the top. So I've got so I took the yellow keyboard, took the yellow keys off, and have put the red keys on. But I did keep on the few white keys that you installed, Dev, the first time around.
Yeah. Yeah. Some good stuff. It's real
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, no, I like it. Yeah. Also, I've been playing around with the colors on it and like figuring out what the right yellow is for me.
Yeah, I use red behind them. They're pudding keycaps, the ones that I have. I think that might be the term. Maybe gummy. I don't know what the material is, but it's been nice. Have you looked up Megapony? Are you seeing it? It should be the first.
The story is set after the defeat of Discord, who returns as the main villain. I don't know what any of this means. Discord manages to break out of the stone prison, and he captures and hypnotizes the ponies that hold the elements of harmony, which are the only artifacts capable of defeating him, and he uses them to spread chaos across Equestria. Oh, it's My Little Pony.
Yeah, it's My Little Pony. It's a Mega Man fan game where Mega Man is literally a pony. Like he's walking around on four. It's fantastic. And
Yeah, but it's just it is actually in Universe Equestria. That's pretty sweet. I'm in. Let's
the
do
Robot
this.
Master. Yeah, and you can just download it. You need to use something like Joy-to-Key in order to use a controller with it. There's a shot. Oh, that's not the shot that I want. Get out of here, the internet. I'm tired of you. But yeah, the six main ponies from Friendship is Magic are the six Robot Masters that you fight. I've only went up against Rarity, aka Generous Mare, because I'm no brony. But Rarity is my favorite My Little Pony Friendship is Magic pony. I'm not ashamed to say that. I like Rarity a lot. So yeah, there's something about me.
I'm a sucker for a tomboy, Rainbow Dash all the way.
That's fine. I get it. I think Rarity is like she's so like she presents one way but acts completely differently. I like that.
Well, she's that great trope of the deeper than you thought, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't want to call her a ditz, but like she comes across in a certain way, but you learn so much about how complex she actually is. I can't believe we're doing this, but yes, I love My Little Pony. Let's talk about it.
I do not love My Little Pony, and that's not a thing. My experience with My Little Pony is strictly the Equestria girls.
Oh God, the like weird humanoid ponies.
Yeah, where they go to another world where they're human girls. It's weird. And the only reason I've seen Equestria girls is it came out when I was seeing like just a shit ton of movies in the theater, like right in that sweet spot of Movie Pass. So I saw the trailer for Equestria Girls like 1,000 times. And I'm like, I gotta go see this movie. Like, I know nothing about these characters.
It works. They basically berated you into seeing their film.
Not only did they berate me into seeing their film, I saw the first sequel to Equestria Girls in theaters as well. Like, that's how into it I really like that world. I don't know how it translates to the actual world of My Little Pony.
I gotta be honest, I have not dove into it because I find it, as somebody coming from the other direction, like I don't blame you for getting into it because you were never into the actual ponies, but as somebody that has been in the pony since I was a kid, because like I had a streak when I was into stuff because my older cousins were into it. Rainbow Bright is like maybe one notch above this. Care Bears is kind of even with this, but like so My Little Pony was always a thing, and seeing them turned into humans was somewhat horrific.
Okay. I'm sorry. It worked for me. But again, I didn't know him. I mean, my show on the Hub, the Hasbro Universal Broadcasting Network, that is now just Universal Kids, was Dan Versus. Have you ever seen an episode of Dan Versus?
Yeah,
that show's incredible. And I hope
Dan Versus was one of the first, and I think still is like up on Hulu. If I'm remembering correctly.
It's on Amazon Prime.
Let me see if I can find it.
As far as I know, I don't think it's on
Hulu. Is maybe that what it was?
It's on Prime. And it goes from being free to free with ads to you have to buy it. Like, every time I access it, it like switches its status. I own the first season of Dan versus. That shows.
So the conceit is that every episode is that it's Dan versus some annoyance versus some thing in the world, right? Yeah, and just how he deals with it.
And my favorite episode, I mean, at least the one that like really kind of stuck in my heart. I love the show. I've watched every episode except for the final episode, which is a flashback to how him and Chris met. I'm holding out hope that the show will be revived, and then I'll finally watch that episode. That's my protest, like McEnroe.
It's given me a real Clerks the Animated Series vibe.
Well, it's animated in Flash, so I totally understand where you would get that. It's grimy, too. I love how grimy the world is for being an animated series. But the 7th episode is Dan versus the Ye Olde Shakespeare Theater. And it's like a dinner theater that moves like next door to his apartment. And he goes full like Phantom of the Opera to destroy their operation. Because he's just like sick and tired of it. And as a theater person, it kind of spoke to me. I'm just going to be honest.
Holy shit, the cast on this show is also amazing.
I know.
Curtis Armstrong like leading with Dave Foley, Paget Brewster, John DiMaggio. This is nuts.
Tom Kenny's the 5th. And then like the dentist episode, Dan versus the dentist, which may be the first episode. Like, I don't know if it's the first one that was made, but that's Mark Hamill. Yeah,
it's Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
We got a John C. McGinley drop in here. This is great. I'm going to watch this show today.
You should watch Dan versus. It's an incredible show. And honestly, I know that he's like kind of now because of what happened after Hyde was convicted of sexual assault. Oh, God, I can't think of his name. Red from friggin' that 70s show. What the hell is the actor's name? I can't think of the guy's name. He's in RoboCop. He's the bad guy in the first RoboCop movie.
I see it. Now you've got me not being able to pull it, and like when I see it, I'll kick myself. I'll pull it up.
Yeah, okay, good. I appreciate that. But he has a really good episode where he's a mechanic that steals Dan's car and converts it into a fighting robot. Like, the show is just over the top insane. And it all starts with like the basic annoyances of being an adult. The show, I don't know how it ever got made.
Kurtwood Smith.
Thank you. Yeah, he's got a really good episode in there too. Yeah, they worked and they got some good people in that. And God, friggin' Mr. Mumbles, his cat, when that happens, the show's great. I love Dan versus. So while you were watching My Little Pony, I was watching Dan versus. That's the moral of the story.
You're talking about My Little Pony.
Friendship is magic.
Friendship is magic. Yeah.
I'm just being honest about it. I mean, and I saw Equestria Girls and whatever the follow-up is, like, in theaters. I went to a theater with a lot of people who were way more enthused than I was to see that movie. I'll just be honest about the other people in the audience.
I gotta be this is definitely biased talking, but like the ponies movies and like shows and all of that, they have some really good lore. Like the lore is just like so it's kind of cliche and it's kind of on the nose because it's a kid's thing, but at the end of the day, it's deep in a way that you don't expect and stuff. The whole kind of thing with like Nightmare Boone, I think is her name and stuff. Like, it's just nuts. There's but this kind of like. I'm trying to think of what there was like another series that had kind of the Netflix one. The Netflix one dropped just a couple of years ago, and like it was actually pretty good. Fucking James Marsden's in it as one of the as like the sheriff pony. But it's all about this idea that magic has like disappeared from the world, and all of the different types of ponies have all kind of separated into their own nations. And then like the ways in which it explores like bringing the nations back together once magic is rediscovered and stuff. It's very, very fucking intense. And there's like a whole series that then built off of it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever questioned if the Say Report was about everything, we present the My Little Pony episode. And honestly, there could be more. I'm not saying that this is going to be the only one, but it took us 473 proper episodes to get here. I never knew this about my good friend Sejim, and I'm not going to let it allow me to cancel the show. I choose to look at my friend and see that he has layers, like an onion. Sejim's an ogre. That's what we learned today.
But like you and I have always differed a little bit in the ways in which I just take in so much more animation, like of all levels, right?
Which
like,
is so crazy to me because I feel like I take in a lot of animation, and for you to somehow take in, I would like generously say 5 times the amount of animated like material that I take in is, I don't know how you find the time. Because honestly, I feel like I watch a lot of animated programming, but then you're like, what about this? What about this? Have you seen this? And I'm like, no, I have not seen any of those. I know they exist, but how did you find the time, C. Jim? Have you watched Universal Basic Guys? It's on Hulu. It's a fun show.
Me. Okay, so I've only seen the pilot, and I'm gonna say that off of that, I wasn't really interested in seeing more. But if you want to talk about it, then convince me otherwise, maybe. But basically, we got the bit, like, so I watched it. Me and me and one of my partners, we love just getting just like deep into just like some weird animated shit that and having a Friday night, right? And so we were looking for something like that and found this, and we tried the first episode, and as a as a mostly cishet white male sitting next to somebody that identifies as trans watching the show, the two of us were just like, I don't know if this is what we really want to struggle with right now, and moved on.
I have not watched an episode. I will say that. Dale, though, watched an episode because like the TV was on, and she's like, I didn't want to change the channel, so I'm like, I guess I'm watching this now. And she raved about it. She's like, I really thought it was gonna suck, and then it was like clever. So
the bit is that they're supposed to be like the stock standard white dudes, and cliche shit happens around them, and it's all satirical about like the state of like masculinity and whiteness and all sorts of stuff. So like we got the bit, but like at some point it was like, this is not really. It feels almost a little too like what's the word I'm looking for? Patronizing. Right, patronizing, whatever. But yeah, it feels a little patronizing at some point. But that is also coming from a place of agreeing with that, right? I can't imagine that there's a lot of people in that space like diving into this kind of show. But if it moves the needle on people outside of that particular grouping, then good for it. Yeah. Good for the show.
I don't know. It's just one that like I look at like the Fox shows that are not Family Guy, or I guess Bob's Burgers. I watch Bob's Burgers too, and I really liked Duncanville, and I liked Bless the Hearts. Good. Like those were two that really worked for me. Bless the Hearts.
Great North is our big one right now.
I want to get into the Great North, especially just because it's like similar to Bob's Burgers, at least in visuals. And it's got a great cast. Like I'm really interested in it.
The one thing it has over Bob's, I think, and I have a lot of friends that think that it might be the better show, especially because there's a definitive end to it now. So like there's like a contained amount that they can reference. But the biggest difference is I think that Great North has even more heart somehow. Wow. It is the most. It is not saccharine. I won't call it that. But there is so much love in that show that it is so much easier to take in. Like I love Bob's Burgers, but it can be cynical at times, right? Mm-hmm. There is so much in the Great North that you're just like, they could be cynical about this, but they are not. They are diving in. They love each other. They love this. It is glorious. Anyway, so that's my vote for the Great North. The other one that I've been trying to get you to watch though is Dicktown, man. You got to see Dicktown.
The problem with Dicktown is that it's one of these fucking Fox shows that as soon as a new season starts, they erase the first season. So like I would love to go and watch. I just haven't had a chance to. I mean, the big thing and what I am currently dedicated to is finishing Family Ties. I am 19.
The animated Family Ties you're talking about.
No. I'm talking about Alex P. Keaton and what is the animated Family Ties?
No, sorry, not animated Family Ties. Good Times. They just did an animated Good Times, didn't they?
No. Yes, they did. And I don't know about that. No, Family Ties is fucking nuts. So the only reason I started watching Family Ties is because Paramount Plus, which I think is smart, has all of these like pre-programmed stations. And one of them is called 80s Comedy. That like the majority of that channel is Cheers. But every so often they show 4 episodes of Family Ties. And now Cheers really works because I'm a huge fan of Cheers, but on the 80s Comedy Network on Paramount Plus, they'll show like a season 1 and then a season 9 and then a season 11 and then a season 4. So that's
like
nice.
Syndication. They're like emulating syndication.
Yeah. Family Ties does not emulate syndication. They are always shown in order, and for some unbeknown reason to me, Paramount Plus only has like the license for the first 3 seasons of Family Ties. So like within a week, randomly showing between like 4 and 8 episodes of Family Ties, they end up going through the entire series. So it's always like the same episode of Family Ties that I end up seeing. Specifically, what I've seen the episode after Andy is born in the 3rd season, where they go visit with the Lamaze class. I watched it on like Wednesday, and then it was on again last night. And I'm like, how are they already back here? I literally just watched this episode. You know what? It's weird for me to like credit that part of the episode, because the main part of the episode is Mallory and Skippy getting locked in the basement. Like, that's how most people would like refer to that episode. But I think the stuff at the like Lamaze meetup is better, because it doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Sorry, I'm going to lose my mind about Family Ties for a second. It's supposedly the group of people that Steven and Elise were in Lamaze with. Oh, also, how this all connects. Dan versus Paget Brewster's character is named Elise, and her parents are played by Michael Gross and Meredith Baxter, who played Steven and Elise in fucking Family Ties. Like, Dan versus knows what's going on. Also, she is Elise Jr. So, on some level, we could believe that Elise's parents are Steve and Elise Keaton from Family Ties, if we chose to do the mental gymnastics. Dan versus, it all comes together. But, like, we're supposed to believe that these are people that they were in Lamaze class with while Elise was pregnant with Andy, the 4th Keaton child. But, like, they're like, we traveled 2 hours to get here. And it's like, oh yeah, we could go and pick up our child. We didn't realize we were bringing our babies to this meetup. We can go have our kid. We could be back. It'd be 4 hours round trip. And it's like, all of you apparently lived in Columbus, Ohio, where the show is set, to take a Lamaze class. And then within the 9 months of your baby being born, you like spread out multiple hours away from each other in all sorts of different directions. The fuck? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand it, Sejin. I'm sorry. You lived in Ohio. Can you explain it to me?
No, man. Nobody can explain Ohio.
No, I can't. No, that's fair. That's very true. And that's why it's like slang for bullshit. Sorry.
Ohio, the state that votes liberal, but the state Congress doesn't fucking care.
Fair. It's so fair what he says. But yeah, so they only have the first 3 seasons, and because I had on this like comedy network on Paramount Plus, I'm like, I need to watch this show so that when it comes on, I won't be like offended, right? Like I'll be okay leaving it on. I won't be like, oh, I have no idea what's going on. And then they only have the first 3 seasons, so I have tracked down seasons 4 through 7. And the movie. Did I talk about the movie on here? Or did I just, like, ruin my coworker's day by going off about the Family Ties movie?
I didn't know about this.
Okay. So
what?
So, on the 4th season DVD, they include a film, the movie, Family Ties the movie. That's what it's called. It might be called The Family Ties Vacation. It's one of those. And it's a TV movie where the Keatons go to London. And the reason they go to London is that Alex has gotten a fellowship at Oxford. Probably that one. Actually, it might not even be Oxford. I was just trying to riff off of Will's "I went to Oxford, no, not that one" joke that he always tells whenever we meet new people together. So he's going because he got a fellowship in London, and the entire family decides to go along with him, except for the newborn baby, because I don't know. And, like, the weird thing is they could have left Jennifer behind to watch the newborn baby, because legitimately, Tina Youther's Jennifer character disappears halfway through this movie. Like, she is front and center in the beginning, and then, like, she totally Chuck Cunningham's for the rest of the film, as if, like, she was never there.
I mean, the baby thing can be explained easily, but one or two ways. Either this was a script that's been around since before the baby existed.
Oh, that's totally...
Which is... Or the other thing is that they just didn't want to fucking deal with travel and child film scheduling. Like, that kind of shit is... Film scheduling with an actual live child is already a fucking nightmare. Like, you know, I'm not saying don't ever work with kids, but like that is just a fact. Is like there's all these rules and regulations around like breaks that they need to have, how often they can be in presence of people, things like that. So like, add to that also all the fucking logistics of a travel episode. Write the baby out.
Oh yeah, no,
the baby's not going to have lines anyway. Write the baby out.
I 100% believe that I think that it was written before they decided they were going to add a baby to the show. And between seasons 3 and 4, they age up Andy 5 years. They do that like sitcom thing where the baby is now 5 years old, but Alex is still only 22 years old. Like, math's not mathin', which I actually now have a theory that, like, you know how they act in Happy Days that, like, Chuck Cunningham never existed? As far as I'm concerned, we're watching an alternate universe of Happy Days once that happens. Ditto Family Matters with
it created a split in the timeline.
Yeah. So they go to London, and, you know, Elise sits next to this guy. He's got, like, a thick Eastern European accent, and she talks to him during the flight. And it turns out this guy is a spy transporting like microfilm. So then when there are like Interpol agents at Heathrow, he ends up putting the microfilm, which is hidden in a hairbrush. He puts that hairbrush into Elise's purse. So the movie becomes spies and Interpol agents trying to like intercept the Keatons so that they can get their hands on this microfilm. Just like exactly what you'd think an episode of Family Ties would be. Like it's like high intrigue and spies. Meanwhile, Alex is having difficulty at his college fellowship because like he does not fit in. Like it's just huge culture clash. Like the kid that he's rooming with is a lord. Like, straight up, he's a lord. So Alex thinks that he needs to treat him like actual royalty. He bows and all this other shit. Like, it is the most unhinged hour and a half of television I have ever watched. And I also didn't watch it until after I had finished the 5th season of Family Ties. Because I didn't realize it existed. So I have now started the 6th season. And you want to talk about, like, this is a script that existed before? Like, the 14th episode of season 6 of Family Ties is legitimately an episode that was filmed in season 2 that they just never released. Like, just suddenly, there's no baby, and Alex is still in high school. Like, it's crazy. The show is, like, just the craziest fucking show. And I'm watching. I've been watching through it, and that's my goal, is to finish it. I have like possibly 30 episodes left of this series. And then I can finally move on to another series, see, Jim. That's the whole point of this story that I'm telling right now. Robert D. Allen is the person who created Zexion, by the way, in case you're just now tuning in 30 minutes into the episode.
Nice.
But yeah, the show is just crazy. You know who's in the 6th season of Family Ties? Yeah, you're never going to guess this. You're never going to guess.
Brendan Fraser?
Oh my God, that'd be incredible. It's not Brendan Fraser. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to me. Courtney Cox.
Oh, damn.
Courtney Cox is Alex's like steady girlfriend in the 6th season of Family Ties. I had no idea. I had absolutely no idea. And in her first episode, she meets Alex because she's like running a psych lab. She's a psychology student, and she's running a study on overachievers. And legitimately, it is 40 minutes because it's like a 2-part episode of her acting as if overachievers are a protected like minority. Like, she talks about overachievers as if like it's an actual group that like the ADA is like responsible for. It's the weirdest fucking thing. I don't know how better to describe it to you. I hope you understand what I'm saying in this moment.
Yeah, it's very weird, man. But I don't know. Like, it's that thing where like you have to make up the fake job in the romantic comedy, right? Like,
exactly,
what is the ridiculous thing that this person does?
I collect sea glass and make collages out of it. Okay, Man at a House starring Chevy Chase. Sounds like
I'm an architect, but all I design are boathouses meant for landlocked states.
Nice. I like that one. If you just came up with that now, we're putting that in a movie.
I don't know where I would have pulled that from.
Yeah, right? Yeah, now suddenly we get a cease and desist from, like, Nora Jones. Nora Ephron. Nora Jones is a singer. She can get mad at us, too, though. I'm sure that we've done something to offend Nora Jones and the estate of Nora Ephron. But, yeah. You know what else I've been watching? Speaking of Courtney Cox, I'm 21 episodes deep in. Did you say Friends?
Yeah.
You're so close and so wrong. I've been watching Joey.
Oh!
Because they ended up, like, last year, they're like, we're going to put up all 46 episode of Joey on freaking YouTube to watch for free. And I am 21 episodes through the 46 episodes of Joey. Of which, like...
More episodes than I would have guessed it got. I'll be honest.
It got 2 seasons, which is just crazy to me. I thought that it only had 1 season of like 10 episodes. Turns out that 1 season of 10 episodes is season 2. Because then there's like 16 or so episodes that are straight up never before aired on TV. That are from season 2.
Wild.
And they just put them up on YouTube to view. And so I'm chunking through that as well. It's been a good time. Also, I finished Wonder Man. I don't know if you've finished Wonder Man yet.
No, I've not finished it yet. My mom did, and she won't stop texting me about it, so I'm trying to finish it before she ruins anything.
Dude, we just stumbled into the title of this episode, Moms Love Wonder Man. Mom will not shut up about it. She's like, is there more of that? I loved it. Can we watch Wonder Man? I really enjoy it. And, like, I really enjoyed it, too. I just was not expecting my mother to enjoy it as much as she did it. And I'm so happy that we come here to the hallowed halls of our studios to record this episode of The Say Report, and you've been experiencing the same thing. Have you watched more than the pilot episode, at least? Or
No, I have not, but that is part of what today might be. I don't want to, like... Not trying to deny my roots or anything, but I don't necessarily need to watch the Patriots in another Super Bowl today. So,
well, this guy ripped off the Band-Aid. You know what I've had just like stuck in my head all weekend, Seijin, as we've geared up for recording? The fucking Giants New England Super Bowl, where I fully blame us for the loss.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I it's... We were sitting at Decker Base. We were watching the game. We were enjoying the game. We were ahead going into halftime. And we're like, I guess we can go to that party in Providence. And then, like, as soon as we broke it, man, they lost.
Yep.
Like, and I totally blame us. We listened to Tom Petty sing Refugee. And then we got in the car and we drove to the Hill. and then the fucking Patriots like forgot how to play fucking football.
Yeah, man. I mean, I fucking just did it to the Bruins the other night. Did you see what happened with them with the Whalers? Where in the last 3 minutes of the game, the one guy scored 3 shots.
Holy fuck! Goals. They're called goals. That's insane.
I didn't know.
I haven't been watching. I did a lot of movies this week. That's pretty much what I'm doing. I haven't been watching a lot of, because I knew that with like the Super Bowl, I'm probably gonna watch that whole thing, and like Winter Olympics started, and I haven't been watching like religiously glued to the TV, but I have watched a couple of events, and I've been enjoying that. I don't know. The Olympics is still such a hotbed topic for me, but like
the opening ceremonies were fucking rad.
I went to sleep. They scared me. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
The finale with Andrea Bocelli, was one of those things where I am not an opera like aficionado or in any way. I've seen a lot because I've worked on them, but like, so you know, like I respect the hell out of opera as an art form, but even like I, with such a loose kind of enjoyment of the art, was like almost crying from him singing at the end. And they were just showing shots of people in the audience that were like straight up just bawling. But I mean, it was just super fun and super cool from a tech perspective too. Like the glowing stage and shit was really fun.
I don't think I could play basketball during opera, but that's cool that they found so many people in the audience who could. I love being an asshole, brother. I love it. No, that's good. I'm glad to hear it. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm still not there with the Olympics. I'm just going to be honest with you. And honestly, I can't believe that this is only the second time in the tenure of the Say Report that the New England Patriots are going to a Super Bowl. And I can't believe that it's like the only Super Bowl hat that I own is from Super Bowl 49. Which is New England Patriots versus the Seattle Seahawks. So for Super Bowl 60 to be like a rematch of that, I really wish I could find that fucking hat. I'll tell you that. I have no idea where it is. I found so many hats that I thought I lost, and I just don't know where that one is. I'm just going to tell the truth right now, disappointingly.
Hey, wait, didn't I see that you found a Switch game that you'd been looking for a while back?
What are you talking about?
What was that? I don't know. You posted in the family Discord there that you had found a game. I forget what it was.
Yeah, I kind of don't want to talk about that yet, but I will.
Oh,
here's the thing: we're not going to go deeper than this, but I did share in the family Discord just the general. I was a beta tester on a game called The Prisoning Fletcher's Quest, and like beginning of last year, was told that they had to stop development on it because they just ran out of money. But then, from the ashes like a phoenix, Acclaim returned as a publisher, and Acclaim, like video game publishing company from our youth, Acclaim, is going to be publishing The Prisoning Fletcher's Quest. And it releases on Tuesday, February 10th. On Steam and Nintendo Switch. So the reason why I didn't want to talk about it until Siegen gave me this beautiful segue, and I felt like kind of gun to my head, like I had to talk about it. And I'm not mad at you, Siegen, at all. But I don't know if I'm going to be credited in this game as a beta tester. I hope that I am. But like, I don't want to go crazy and be like, this game I beta tested is out there, you should play it. Until, like, I actually see my name in the credits. Because I don't want to be that, like, I have an uncle who works at Nintendo who told me that the new Mario game, you're going to ride a dinosaur.
Oh, yeah, no, I get it, man. Yeah, I would be really tickled if you were, but, like, I wouldn't prepare for it. Did anybody, like, reach out to you to, like, get any, like, solid spelling of your name or something like that? I mean, not that would be an indicator.
I mean, honestly, if I were going to be credited, I think I'd be credited by the name I go with in like the gaming spaces online, and I have been in constant communication with that person. like who's working on the game. They've talked about it. They've like let me know when, like during the beta testing period, they're like, we pushed out a patch if you could play through the game again and let us know what you think of the changes. They reached out to be like, we need people to give the final boss a couple of tries who know it before, because like we've made some changes to it. And I'm like, I missed that message, and I'm like, I can still test it if you need. They're like, no, we have the information we need. And then they reached out, like, we want to know how long the game takes for people. And I'm like, do you want me to play through the game and like test myself? And they're like, no, you already gave us the information that you cleared our game in 90 minutes and then submitted a video of you completing it in an hour and 17 minutes. You have given us like the fastest completion times in the beta. So we already know that end of it. We want to know how long it takes other people to complete the game.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, like you know, like I don't feel bad about that. Like it really was like it took you 90 minutes to beat it, and I'm like, well, yeah, like I mean, it was a good 90 minutes, and as soon as I finished, I went and played it again. It's not, the game's really cool. Like, I'm very excited to play the game. And this is, so I guess it's like a teaser for the game right now, because I'm only talking about what it was like in beta form. And it's only going to be $14.99 when it releases on Switch. It might have the discount that you see for like first week releases on Steam, but $14.99 is like the base price for this game. There's definitely $15 worth of game there based on what I beta tested. And like, just because I cleared it as quickly as I did, a lot of that comes from what we talked about in like the Zexion report. These are the type of games that I understand really, really well. And straight up, like in the beta, like while I was beta testing this game, all of the cheese that I found, like I felt bad. I've talked about this on the show before. All of the ways that I found to cheese bosses, I reported them in my beta test reports. That like you can get free hits on the first form of this boss if you stand at this one location. And I provided photos and everything like that. So they completely changed that boss. So that can't happen. Another boss, I found a way to clip behind them. And then, like, all of their area attacks, like, they did, like, full screen attacks, but if you were underneath them, you were safe. And they're like, oh, you're not supposed to get there. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't think so. That's why I put it in my test report. So, like, I watched this game slowly have all the cheese moments removed from it because I found them. And that was kind of fun. I'm not going to lie.
Awesome, man.
But like those were in there when I was doing like the fast. Well, not the boss where like you could go underneath them and do it. My 117 clear, that had been fixed. But I like knew other things about the game. It's just this. It's a really fun game. I can't believe it's finally coming out after the emails and the conversations I had about like we straight up don't have the funds to finish this game. So like thank you for your service, but I don't know if it's going to go any further. But then, like, for Acclaim to pick it up and be publishing it, for a game that I tested to be, like, released on a Nintendo system, like, I'm real excited about that. But I legitimately do not know if I'm going to get credited for it or not. And that feels kind of weird. But, like, I wasn't paid for my services. I was essentially a volunteer. So I don't think there's any expectation for them to credit me. But, yeah. That's, I don't know.
I've seen it from time to time, and only in the indie space, but like I've seen it from time to time where they definitely get into the beta testers. So, you know, like, it'd be cool if they do it, but it's one of those things that like, it's one of those levels of involvement that like you don't need to be credited. You know what I mean? Like when they credit you, it is not for the player to see that you beta tested it. That is the creator saying thank you to the beta testers. And unfortunately, that's not a common occurrence in the video game space.
Well, I was talking with Dale about this last night, and it's like, I mean, I don't expect to be credited because like Castlevania, it's all fake made-up names. Mega Man 2, it's all fake made-up names. And those released, like, within 40 years ago. There are no expectations of credit in video games the way there is in like movies or TV shows. Because a lot of it stemmed from the fact that they didn't want like Konami to poach the person that made Mega Man. So they used fake names. And Konami, I bring up Konami because like Castlevania 3, which released in the 90s, it is by Dracula 3 development team. That is the extent of the credit that those people get from making that game. No other names are there. So I understand that like video game crediting is still kind of sort of a Wild West. But I do want people to play this game. So you're right, we should talk about it. It's coming to Switch, it's coming to Steam. $14.99 is the price tag. It's sort of like a Metroidvania, but the cool thing is that every time you go through the game, it's procedurally generated. So like say the map is like you'll go right from a room and then you'll climb up like 4 or 5 rooms, then you'll go left from there and then you'll hit a save point. What you have to do in the like 13 or so rooms while you travel that way will be different every single time you start the game up. Which is kind of cool that no 2 runs are the same. Like,
no, you're talking about like the bread and butter of games like Undermine and stuff, and Undermine's a game I've put 100 and some odd hours into on 3 different platforms, I think. I'm in. I'm fucking in. I'm gonna see if I can pick it up. You said it comes out Tuesday, right?
It comes out Tuesday, February 10th. Yeah. So I mean, I know I'm gonna get it that day, and I'm gonna try to. I mean, hopefully you can roll credits from the beginning, so I can know as soon as possible. But if not, I'm gonna hope to run through the game and unlock the achievement that I feel a little responsible for, which is you can still get a refund, which is complete the game in under 2 hours. And considering when I reported I beat the game in 90 minutes, like the sticker shock from the person I was dealing with, I feel like that's a little bit inspired by the fact that somebody played this game for the first time and beat it under 2 hours. Right? That's how I feel. But then I also like Cyber Shadow, right? That's another game where like I sat down and met with the developer. My name is nowhere in this thing for Cyber Shadow, and I changed a huge game mechanic that he thought would break cutscenes. And I showed him that no, it still works with that in there. Like, okay. I know this feels real navel-gazy. This feels like I'm bragging. They're just things that have happened in my life. And they're things that I've talked about on the show before. So please just bear with me. It's like, it's cool to see something that you worked on getting released and have other people the chance to play it. Like, I don't know. I'm excited. I'll admit it. I'm excited, Sejan.
Yeah. Just for the record, I think I was talking about Mario Golf when I was saying that game you found.
Oh, fuck. That was a long time ago.
That was like November.
Yeah, I found my copy of Mario Golf for the Nintendo Switch. Thank you, CJ. I don't know where it is right now, but yeah.
Anyway, yeah, man. Cool.
Yeah, so again, just in case you missed it, it's The Prisoning Fletcher's Quest. I'll drop a link to it in the Discord. Specifically, yeah, I'll do it to both. It'll be there for both the Switch and for Steam in case anybody's interested in trying it. It's good, like real fun sprite work and everything. I enjoy it. And it actually has a section in it. Sorry?
Have you tried it? Sorry, have you tried it on the Switch at all? I'm just curious how that feels.
All the beta testing that I did was via PC through Steam. Actually, the Switch of it all kind of was a surprise to me. Like, I thought it was just going to be a Steam game. And then Reggie Fils-Aimé, of all people, 2 presidents ago at Nintendo, because Doug Bowser has now retired and is working at Hasbro, of all places. And now the president of Nintendo is named Devin. It's not me, though. It's a lady. I think Devin Pritchard is her name. Don't quote me on that. I can confirm that afterwards. But Reggie Fils-Aimé, was the one who announced that this game was coming out on Switch and Steam. at a New York event like last month. So like that's another thing is like Reggie, Mr. Nintendo for a lot of people in our generation, is one of the people who announced that this game was coming out. Like, it's kind of hard for me not to be excited. So, of course, when you're like, what's that game you found? I'm not going to think of Mario fucking Golf. No offense, Mario Golf. I think you're a wonderful game. But, like, I'm going to think about the game that, like, you know.
I know, man.
And I want to get, make sure Devin Pritchard is the new president of Nintendo of America. She's to quote Wikipedia, Devin Pritchard is an American businesswoman who is currently the president and chief operating officer of Nintendo of America, the North American branch. An American businesswoman. Oh, crikey! Today we're going to be haunting the elusive American businesswoman. What a stupid way to refer to a person. I mean, that's what she is, but like, it just feels so clinical to refer to her as that. I don't know. How are you doing, Jim?
Very good. I've been spending this week actually doing some heavy lifting around the office bedroom space.
Oh, nice.
Just kind of getting some spaces separated and stuff like that. But more importantly, I've been putting together a sound system.
Oh, nice. What? Yeah, please go deeper.
So like five or 6 years ago, one of the tech companies that I was working at, I was on my way out, and it was right after COVID had hit, and so we had gotten deep enough into COVID that they had decided that they were going to not renew the lease on on the office space because they just didn't know when we were going to be back in it. And they technically owned the building, but what they did is they just didn't renew the space so they could rent it out to someone else, right?
Of course, yeah.
So they had to clear all of our shit out. And one of the things that I was able to get a hold of was a ton of equipment. I'm talking like even like lights and fucking framework and all that shit for whenever we would go to conferences and try and sell the product. So I got basically this whole conference kit, and in that was this extremely high-end Denon sound system that was just gorgeous, right? But yeah, I didn't have any speakers though, because the idea would be that you'd bring it and then you'd plug it in with whatever was at the convention.
Right.
But yeah, so I got a hold of that, and we've had it for years, and it's just been sitting in the garage because I just haven't put it's something that I wanted to treat with the respect that it deserves. Let me put it that way. And something, that was one of my New Year's resolutions was to finally put together the sound system. So for right now, I just ordered a small CD player and two just bookcase size speakers, some Dayton speakers. They're real cheap. They sound great for what they are, and they're doing what I needed them to do, which was just tell me that the damn thing worked, which was the most important thing for me to figure out. And that is that like they don't do so well once the volume gets past a certain point. They just can't handle it. They also don't have the best connection for the wires that they gave me. There's definitely some really good connectors on it, but the wires they gave me are so thin they don't actually stay in the connector. It's fucking stupid. I don't know. So I figured out a way to jerry-rig it, but like, it doesn't sound great. There's interference and shit. But the thing works like a dream. The thing that's fucking getting me right now that I got to do is it's working too well. Every time I turn my damn computer on, it takes over the audio from my computer immediately. So I've got to set some like automatic thing off. I got to toggle something off with the automatic settings. But like 1:00 in the morning last night, I decided I was going to sit down and play something for a little bit. I've been going through the SteamWorld games again just because, and like it just fucking started blaring out of my sound system like full blast in the house. I was just like, oh shit.
I love that. Personally, nowhere near what Siegen has done. I added a mixing board to my computer at work because I have nice. I have headphones for when I just want to like have music on and not be like disturbed when I'm doing like data entry or things like that. But I also have speakers. Excuse me. And currently, what I had to do was either switch which one was plugged into the output of my PC, or I had them plugged in at the same time briefly, and then I would use like the virtual mixing board in Windows, and I just got tired of it. So I decided I'm going to do this. I'm going to set this up and I'm going to have it running the way that I wanted to. And it's kind of changed the game. Mostly because, like, the regular speakers that I have, they're like little Dell fucking USB-powered speakers that probably come with every system that you get out there, right? Like, it's part of the package. They could never go high enough. So now that I have, like, a powered mixing board in there, and it's not crazy. It's like a $50 monkey board. It's got 8 inputs and it's got 2 separate outputs, which is what I really needed so that I could have an output to my headphones and an output to the speakers. But like, I actually
get my little cheap one that's like half the size of even that.
Yeah.
I got to get this thing up and going.
Yeah. They're great to have. Like I have one upstairs where I game so that I could have like the Switches on a separate one and the PlayStation's on a separate one. Excuse me. Like it's just so nice to have like real sound production in my office as somebody who cares about what things sound like, right? You don't do a podcast and not care what things sound like. And now I'm going to get some message from somebody like, then maybe you should make Sejin sound better. And it's like, Sejin sounds good. Don't be mean to Sejin. I wish we were in the same room. And not
now I really feel like I got to get this board together to see if it's going to do anything to help.
No, I think you sound good. I mean, I think a lot of it is how I have to capture your voice and things like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Certainly, you know what? You sound better than your brother has in the first 5 episodes of The Return of Say Report Jr.
Gotta send that boy a new microphone.
I think it's his microphone. Like, Dale was like, I don't know if it's the connection, but like he keeps cutting out. And I'm like, I think it's his microphone. After having listened, have you listened to any of their new episodes?
I have. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like it just feels like he might be losing connection a little bit or like he's overpowering the element in it. It just feels like microphone is the issue. But I am taking this moment here at the middle point of our episode. Maybe not the middle point. I want to get ready for the Super Bowl. So there might only be half an hour left. Who knows? Say Report Jr. is officially back. I wasn't going to do it until they had done 4 episodes. And then they did a stealth drop of an episode on Friday, which was a surprise, but I spoke with Dale and she explained it to me why. Do you want to take a stab at to why an episode dropped on Friday, Sejin, instead of their usual Wednesday?
Let's see. It was the 50th anniversary of Power Rangers. Well, not Power Rangers. The show, the Power Rangers. Yes. Yeah, Super Sentai. It's actually ending, which is fucking wild.
I received a text message this morning from Claude being like, I can't believe this is the last day of Super Sentai after 50 years. And I was going to work it into the episode. Look what Sejin did. Look what Sejin did. He did it. He found a way to work it in. Good job, Siege. I'm proud of you. We did not talk about this beforehand. That's fucking kismet. Maybe not kismet. Maybe it's just fucking coincidence. Who knows? But yeah, so the reason why they dropped it on Friday, after being a show that released historically on Wednesdays for the tenure of that series, Say Report Jr., the spin-off of this show, where it is my younger sister Dale and Sejin's younger brother Zach having their own version of the Say Report. My favorite part of their show is still the fact that Will's older sister does their outro. She does not have full Quizmaster responsibilities there. I don't think she's ever been on a full episode of Say Report Jr., but it is super funny that Liz is their outro, and that Dale and Zach, who have never met this woman, talk about her the same way that you and I talk about Will. Like, I think it's just super funny. Sorry to break the kayfabe for anybody who came over here.
Oh, shit.
But I love it. It's so funny. They are officially moving to a Friday release schedule. That's what that stealth release was. Their plan is, based upon the days that they work and everything, they're going to be recording their episodes on Thursdays to be released on Friday. Now, I mean, we have a lot more experience than them. They did hit the 100 episode mark, so credit to them for doing that. I am excited to see how that works out for them. Dale is one of these people who, as soon as they record something, she wants to release it into the world. They have a banked episode, which they call their time capsules Hot Topics. And she's like, I'm really excited to release that. And I'm like, Shouldn't you hold on to it in case you need it? Isn't that the point of having that? Yeah, but I want to be able to like have people listen to it. I'm like, I know how that feels, but you don't bank an episode and then immediately release it. It's so you have a safety net. But I'm happy that they're back. I'm happy that they're recording again. It's been real enjoyable watching them like get to know each other again. And, you know, the hurdles of like, we didn't record for 10 days and I like forgot how to do this. They didn't record for like 5 or 6 years. It's been interesting to watch them come back. And we got some stuff in the works to support our little sister show. But we'll give more information once we have more information on it. But, you know, if you want to keep the conversation going, it's not just the Discord anymore. Fridays, Say Report Jr. is dropping new episodes. And they have a backlog of about 101 episodes before their reemergence onto the scene that you can listen to. And that one's interesting because Sejan and I, if you listen to the very special episodes, we've known each other for 20 years. Like, just undeniably. We're working on our 21st year of friendship right now. They got to know each other recording a podcast together, which was a pretty cool social experiment. Oh, man. All right, Siege. So we both did something that also $21 million, give or take, also did in the time since we last recorded. Do you think it's time we talk about Markiplier's movie?
Yeah, man, let's do it, man. I'm super happy to report that I thoroughly enjoyed it and here. I do have criticisms. There are things about it that I think like are worth pointing out. But at the end of the day, like not just the film itself, but like everything, the whole meta of the film has just been really cool to watch. It's just been really cool to watch.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not going to lie. It's been interesting. The weird thing is the reporting on it. How they're reporting on the income. Like the fact that like we have the last day that they reported was Sunday, February 1st. And then we got a report on February 6th. But I saw it on the 4th. Like I saw it on February 4th. So like I gave money to this, right? And there were 2 other people in the theater with me. Because it was an early morning show. It was an 11 a.m. showing of Iron Lung on a fucking Wednesday. There aren't a lot of people going to the movie theaters at 11 a.m. But like that right there, $8.50 a ticket, comes to about what $26.50, and that's weird. It's actually $25.50. I did the math wrong there. Yeah. Like, it's weird that they didn't report any of the other stuff. I don't know if there's a threshold that needs to be crossed for Box Office Mojo to do it. But, like, domestically, it's made $26.8 million. Worldwide, $30.2 million. For a film that reportedly cost $3 million, good for fucking Markiplier.
Well, the biggest thing that he has talked about, because he's made a lot of really great videos, just thanking everyone for being being there for him. But the biggest thing that he has said is that as his number one, as also the producer of this film. His number one rule going into it was he was not going to spend a fucking dime on actual marketing. He was just going to depend on just the kindness of strangers, the people that he knew. He also wasn't expecting it to get this big, I think. I think that it's been a pleasant surprise to him. But that's what part of the reason he was able to keep it so low amongst many other clear elements in the film. But part of the reason that budget is so low is that he has not produced any marketing. Like a poster, I think, is maybe what he did. Other than that, like, yeah, he edited a preview together, but he didn't pay to have it in front of anything. He just put it up on YouTube. And like there's a really interesting case study here that people are going to be parsing for years, I think.
Well, I mean, the scary thing is that a movie that Hollywood did not have their hands on at all was able to make that type of profit. And by all accounts, the profit share is half and half, right? Like instead of what movie theater, like, exhibitors tend to get on movies, however, whatever their percentage is, they get half of the ticket sales on this one, right?
Yeah, so just to clarify, they normally get a much more reportedly lower percentage
Right.
than 50%. So getting a 50% return on ticket is actually huge, especially for the kind of smaller houses that this is the kind of movie would thrive in, right? Yeah, no, I mean, he's as a creative, this is all super on brand for him.
Yes.
He is really big on the idea of access. He's really big on the idea of he's translated this thing into 20 some odd languages, I think. And then on top of that, he's trying to work out how to get it somewhere that basically anyone in the world can see it. He's not sure. I mean, it's probably going to end up being YouTube. YouTube would be stupid to not jump on that. But although they've done him dirty his entire career, but that's a whole other thing. But there's an element here that is just really heartwarming in not just in the whole idea of what he wanted this thing to be and what it has become is kind of the biggest version of his best vision of this, and it's just so cool to see an independent artist be able to do that.
Yeah. And I gotta say, Sejin, I'm going to our conversation. Where did I put the picture for that? Nope, that's a bunch of Jack Black as a Transformer. Oh, very interested to hear your thoughts. And my response was, I don't know if it's the first or second episode of C-Lab, but it's the one with the French guy there. And he's like, the ocean enveloped me like a mother's womb. And I gotta tell you, the first half hour of the film, I almost fell asleep. The film was so cozy until he got pulled up to the surface for the first time. I mean, spoilers for this film. We should put a spoiler tag on this.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Is based on a video game. Have you played the game that it's based on? It's a 2022 game called Iron Lung that it's based on.
I've tried it. I have not been able to get good at it in any way, so I have not progressed. But I've seen plenty of streamers play through it. It was a very big hit for streaming in my circles, at least when it came out, because it's a nice tight experience and it's a little bit weirder than anything else you've been playing lately. That's the kind of thing. Yeah, but go ahead.
But yeah, so I've never played the game. I did not know that it was based on a game or anything like that. But the basic story is that an event called the Quiet Rapture has happened, and a convict, a criminal who's been convicted of mass murder, for his crimes, is sent into an ocean of blood in a submarine. Kind of called the Iron Lung. I don't know if that's the actual name of it or if they just call it the Iron Lung, colloquially in the world. And so he is exploring in this submarine that he is welded into. He can't look out of a porthole at any way because the pressure in the blood ocean is so great that it has to have shields up and anything like that. So his only way to see is to take pictures with a radiation camera, which that's a huge spoiler right there. And so he's trying to map out this blood ocean. And I gotta tell you, I've realized, having been someone who was ocean bound for so long, these movies and stuff that take place on the ocean, they are so soothing to me, which is just crazy. Is this crazy stuff?
Yeah. Not to keep diving into the deep background lore, but the fear of the ocean is actually something that Markiplier as a YouTuber, as a gaming YouTuber, has actually been very vocal about and has folded it into some of his biggest playthroughs. He was one of the very first big Subnautica players, for instance, and a lot of that was because he has, I forget what the fear of being underwater is, but he has that really anxiety almost driving, and it was that era of YouTube where people were putting themselves on display with unmedicated, because it was what made good YouTube. So there was a bunch of guys that were playing YouTube and getting angry and throwing things around. There's that famous video of that streamer that and shoving a controller up his ass, like all sorts of weird shit. Like, so, his version of that was his anxiety of the ocean and playing a bunch of games that would really kind of induce that.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's cool. It's thalassophobia is the fear of the ocean.
Yes, that's what it is. Yeah. Yeah.
But me, I mean, I've lived on the ocean. I have no fear of the sea. I son of a sailor and a pirate looking at 40 over here. Love you, Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah.
But
I think that's why the game and this story hit him as
the
hard
way
as
it
it did.
And and it's very, but like the opening of the movie, I was so soothed by like sort of the methodic rhythm of the movement of the camera and the soundscape that it created. It reminded me of the Apple original film Greyhound with Tom Hanks, which is a crazy film. Like, that film is intense, and like it ended up putting me to sleep. And it's because like the ocean soothes me. Apparently 99% of people suffer some form of thalassophobia, according to the internet search that just came up when I looked for.
I mean, that's why waterboarding works, right? Yeah. Is like that fear of, yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm somebody who waterboards myself in the shower so that I'm prepared if I ever get tortured with it. It's real easy to do that. I found out accidentally, but if you put a washcloth over your face and then look up into the spigot of the shower, you're waterboarding yourself, friend.
Anyway.
I'm sharing a story, Siege, and it happened to me. But yeah, so when I say it enveloped me like a mother's womb, that film, for as like intense as it is and as isolating as it is, it really like whatever part of your brain triggers from ASMR, that's what the film like Iron Lung triggered in me. It's stuff like the Kristen Stewart movie Underwater. Like, I watched Iron Lung, and until it got real, like, I guess for lack of a better term, Lovecraftian, I was like, you know who would really like this movie? Is Dale. Because Dale loves films about that isolation underwater. And I'm like, I think she'd really like this until the fact where, like, suddenly the blood is growing all sorts of, like, things within the ship. Like, I don't know how she'd feel about that part of this movie.
Yeah, for me, it hit a lot of the same veins as, like, the opening of Alien, right?
Yeah,
the very first one. I mean, and Alien is an isolation horror. It's just in space instead of in the ocean. So, like, there was a lot, like, that felt like it was heavily inspired by that kind of story. And, yeah, I love the opening of Alien. It's really quiet. They do that whole like really quiet look through the ship, and then slowly the pods open up, and like you said, it's almost like ASMR. And then like people are moving around, but nobody's quite like awake yet or talking much, and you just hear like the beeping of machines in the background. And then like that movie becomes so fucking intense, but it is set up so beautifully by those quiet moments in the beginning, so that you can see the inspiration for sure.
Yeah, and it was. I was not upset about it. The only thing that upset me about my experience, I saw it at a small movie house. Shout out Mystic Luxury Cinema in Mystic, Connecticut. They have upgraded their seating to have like the recliners and everything. But for some reason, they also have heating in the seats. Like you can have your seat heated. Yeah. I've never experienced that before. And like halfway through the movie, I guess like I might have jostled the switch to turn it on. Like, my ass was on fire.
Yeah, they get so fucking hot.
So hot.
It's stupid how hot they
I didn't even turn it on. So I'm just, like, sitting there, and, like, the blood's, like, coming in, and it's like, holy fuck. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like, is this, like, a 4DX movie that I'm watching? And then I look, and I'm like, oh, no, I turned on the heat in the seat. And then, like, they're so fickle that, like, I couldn't get it to shut off. I ended up having to get out of the seat and, like, keep hitting it until I could shut it off, and then I'm like, hopefully I don't turn it back on again. But the seat got so warm. Like, and it kind of worked with, like, you know, pressure and everything like that. It worked with the movie, but it freaked me the fuck out. I'm going to just be honest with you. I don't think we need seats that warm, people. I'm going to just be honest with everybody.
It's like you saw the D-Box experience for us.
Like, it was crazy. But yeah, like, my biggest fear seeing this movie, knowing that it was a $3 million budget and things like that, Siegen can attest to this because he's seen a lot of them too. I have seen a lot of low to no budget movies just in my time in the world, right? International film festivals that I've participated in and things like that. I was expecting this film to have that like charm of a low budget horror film, and I was a little nervous about that. Excuse me, I'm so excited. Being in an actual movie that like I paid to go see. Like anytime I've seen it at like an international film festival or something like that, like I have something entered as well. So like that's my payment, is that like I'm also part of this. And like it's everybody coming together to like celebrate and share their stuff. This being something that like I put down money for, I'm like, I hope this is, and it blew me away. The production value of this film, I do not believe that it only costs $3 million. I don't. That's how good it looks.
So he also does all of his own editing. There is a small team that he has, and shout out to Lixian, another creator on YouTube who is one of his biggest editors, credited in the movie. So I was glad to see that he got to work on this. Yeah. He's also a really great YouTuber in and of himself, Lixian. Check him out. He's a really interesting game developer YouTuber. But there is a lot of things that he is probably not counting in that budget that I don't think it's out of like malice of trying to like hide things. I think it's out of naivety. Like he is not giving himself enough credit when he says it only costs $3 million, because that $3 million came from him. Like that is his money. That is not that it, like and like he even but for instance, one of the big things that he ended up doing when he knew he was going to start editing this film is that he built his own server farm, and he justified it by saying he was also going to use it for his YouTubing, and he actually allows other creatives like spaced in it as well. But the largest project it was going to get, the reason he built it was that he was going to use it for all of his editing, and so like. I don't know if he's counting the purchase of a server farm in that particular budget, right? Like that, I mean, maybe he is, but it doesn't sound like it for $3 million. That's probably what it cost for the damn building. But yeah, it's an interesting look at the budget conversation for sure, because of the cheapness of the reported budget, but also like there's a lot of people that don't really understand how Mark works. Mark Fischbach, Markiplier, like he's always been quick to spend the cash where he thinks he's going to get the best return. He's very business minded, but also at the same time he's also really good at it. He's never really wrong because he reads his audience. And so like he is honestly the scariest form of capitalism, like in that he has a very like charming, heartwarming kind of vibe, but he is also quite good at fucking putting his money where it should be. So
yeah, I mean 100%. Like whenever I've made a short film, and I'm talking short films, and I am not comparing myself to what Markiplier did with Iron Lung in any way, shape, or form. But when we consider how much it cost us, we're not considering things like paying the actors or paying the editor. We're straight up thinking about like, oh, we had to spend $50 on various props. Oh, we had to spend X amount of money to rent a space for filming. So like when he says that $3 million, I doubt he is considering how much he would have had to pay himself for his performance, how much he would have paid himself if it were an editor and things like that. That $3 million is probably set construction, like purchase of like materials and things like that. So you're right. That $3 million is probably disingenuous in huge air quotes, but only because you don't consider how much you would have gotten paid when you're working on your own project. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I don't like
right. Well, it comes across as disingenuous, and it shouldn't, is what I want to make sure is clear, right? I don't think that it's a disingenuous number. I think that is something that he did, but that was at the sacrifice of a lot of his own time and body, you know, like he got injured on set and things like that doing this movie and stuff too. Not majorly, he's fine, but like, you know, he had to deal with the LA fires in the middle of all of this, and like had to evacuate him and his now wife, girlfriend at the time, I guess fiance, but they never announced their engagement. They kept it all very quiet. But yeah, so like him and his wife had to like fucking get the fuck out of Dodge when the fires came through. Luckily, nothing really happened to their house, but you know, they were in the danger zone. And then he did a bunch of stuff to raise money for things in the area. He did a bunch of streams to like, you know, to set stuff up. He did a food bank thing where he was going to go pack food, and he said, you know, it'll be a meet and greet. You come and work for the food bank, but you'll also get to meet me. But he was like, he's like, I need to figure out how to make this extremely clear. Like, you guys need to be chill. Like, you are coming to help. You are coming to work. Like, he ran this whole campaign about how he wanted to do this because it was really important to him. But he was like prepping I mean, because, you know, a large part of his audience is still kids, you know?
Yeah, right. It's I don't know. I think like one of those interesting things that you need to learn is how to be chill around those people who like are quote unquote famous in your eyes. Like, I'm so thankful for working at the radio station at such a young age, because I got to speak with all of these individuals, like, and I had to just treat them like normal people. Like, when I was interviewing Maroon 5, I couldn't be like, oh my God, it's Adam Levine. I had to like talk to him. And like, that's kind of the biggest one that I spoke with. And they're ones that like I ran into later on in life. Like, I interviewed them when Songs About Jane came out, which I want to get like actual information on that one so that it makes some sense. So Songs About... I was
just thinking about this. Yeah. Did you find it?
Yeah, 2002 is when Songs About Jane came out. And like, they were doing a radio tour where like they do the call-in thing and everything like that. And the guy in charge of the station's like, you're doing that. You're doing the interview with Maroon 5 about their new album. And I'm like, sure, that'll be fine. And then 2 years later, at the Jingle Mingle that was at the Ryan Center, the last Jingle Mingle, me and my friends, like, we had shit seats. We had bought the $9 tickets. And what that basically meant was that you were like parallel to the stage. So you just had no good viewing at all. It was just like miserable because you couldn't see like the video screens and you could barely see what was going on stage. Like, imagine just being like at the stage and looking down on it. That's not great. So I saw like some empty seats and I'm like, we're going to sneak down to there. Turns out those empty seats were like for the artists and their people. And I went down and I sat there, and then like Maroon 5 is sitting in front of us, and I'm like, I'm just going to play it cool, right? And they're like, you guys aren't supposed to be here, are you? And I'm like, no, we're not, but if you guys are cool. So then between bands, we're talking, and they're like, oh, wait, you're Devin Decker? We remember interviewing with you. You're with this? And I'm like, no, I'm with a different radio station. Can we still stay here? Like, and they let us, and it became like this crazy night, all because of that time that I interviewed them. And they're like, it was a high school radio station, like, but you were so professional. Like, we talked to a lot of people. We remembered you. And I'm like, that's nice. You guys are lying probably, but it was a cool experience. I'm not going to lie to you. And that's the thing when you talk about like lack of chill, like that's a learned skill. To just kind of like treat people who are famous like regular people. I'm sorry. What were you gonna say while I was looking up songs about Jane?
I've noticed a lot of that kind of skill on display, or maybe lacking in a ton of the Olympics coverage, because there's these moments where like America gets knocked out, right? And so they have to still be like commentating and talking about these people and saying, encouraging things about these guys, but you can clearly hear in some of these commentators where they're like pissed that America's no longer there, or they feel like America was maybe cheated in some way. Not like cheated. I have not seen anything like that, but I have definitely, the commentation on this Olympics has been an interesting display of politics. I mean, not least of which because of the state of politics in this country right now, and JD Vance getting fucking booed over there.
Yeah, I don't know. I will say this, watching modern broadcasters, that like sort of lack of bias that like sort of broadcaster face that you put on. I've noticed less and less of that with like the newer people who are in broadcasting, and it's kind of disappointing because like you're supposed to be like non-biased. You're supposed to just be presenting this information. I mean, I've always complained about Chris fucking Collinsworth because like you could tell which team he's rooting for whenever he is commentating an NFL game. It bothers the fuck out of me. And he's been doing it for a long time. So I can't say that it's 100% new, but it's an interesting thing that I have noticed. You're not wrong about that. When really, like, you're supposed to just be reporting on what's going on. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you know, there's a big thing that in academia that's been a huge part of the discourse, as it were, for years. The term is autoethnography. Basically, it's the studying and writing about oneself, right? And what you do is like some people study just that, but usually what you do is you're studying that in conjunction with, right?
Yeah.
And so, for instance, in my background, it would have been autoethnography in performance, right? And then like so how those two interplay. I am 100% certain that there has been some talk about the idea of autoethnography in journalism. Honestly, probably since like fucking I don't know, like Hunter Thompson, right? Hunter S. Thompson, or like I mean, because I think about like him, I think about guys like what's his name that wrote I Wear the Black Hat there, the sports writer.
Ooh, I will look it up. You know who jumps to mind is Hemingway. I'm just going to be honest about that. I know that Hemingway is Hemingway, but like the way he talked about other writers was always kind of crazy to me in terms of autoethnography. But
well, yeah, but like the ways in which the idea is like the ways in which you are reporting on or representing or any of that is always informed by your bias, right? And you and acknowledging that in how you move forward with that, right? And some people like take that to the level of meaning like that they need to basically neutralize themselves. That's not necessarily what it's saying. It's not saying you have to turn this shit off. You just have to recognize it. Is like it's an important distinction that I think a lot of people miss in that concept.
Chuck Klosterman is who you were talking about.
Chuck Klosterman,
I Wear the Black Hat. Yeah, no, it is. It's something that you just need to acknowledge, and you just need to know about it in yourself. I don't know. It's just something to recognize. Like, yeah, I'm sure that if I met, you know what? I met John Ratzenberg. I'm a huge Cheers fan. Like, it already came up once this episode. And I was fucking cool as the other side of the pillow when I met John Ratzenberger. I will just admit that. It was the craziest thing. Because I got stuck behind him at one of these film festivals. And we're like stuck behind him like he was walking through and we were trying to get to our seats and everybody was stopping him because, you know, he's John fucking Ratzenberger. Like, I get it. Like, he's a pretty big deal to be at a film festival where I think that was the one that the documentary about me was showing him. He was doing The Barber. I think there might be more to that, but yeah. And then like afterwards, when he finally got to his seats, he turned to me and he's like, "I'm really sorry about all this." And I'm like, "Nah, it's cool." But like, I'm surprised I didn't lose my fucking mind at the fact that Cliff Clavin just apologized to me. Like, I'm just gonna be honest about that.
I'm a freeze, put your head down type of guy whenever I see, you know, because between the Sundance Festival and out here, you definitely see some people you recognize. But my biggest example of that was I was at a BU graduation, Boston University, go Terriers. Joe Morton was related to somebody that was graduating that day. I don't know if it was like a daughter or something like that, but he was. He wasn't speaking or anything, but he was in the audience. So as he was leaving, of course, people were being a little weird about it, including somebody in the group that I was with. But the second that he like even scanned over the crowd at me, I was like I like turtled and like ran off.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that. I mean, we had that experience when we were in college where Richard Gere was filming Hachi, a Dog's Tale.
Oh, yeah.
That, I mean, we watched that girl get taken down by security for, like, trying to chase him out of the building. Like, that was a crazy moment. But then I think about, and this, I promise this is all going to connect, because I did something insane this week that I want to end this episode on. So just, like, prepare for that. That's what I'm saying to you, Siegen. prepare for the next topic I'm about to bring up. But I remember Cary-Hiroyuki Tagawa, rest in peace, right? We lost him last year. And Johnny, right? I think I could call him Johnny.
This is the story that I tell everybody about that experience. Every time I talk about that movie, I talk about how we had to paint the stairs gray and and that Johnny like weirdly got through the security bubble.
Right. And a lot of that came from me. And I don't want to like give myself that, but he's like, I really just want to like thank him. Because, like, he's one of the reasons that I'm going to be an actor is, like, performances that he did. And I'm like, look, if you're not a crazy fan, if you walk up to him, like, slowly, meaningfully, like, hand shown, you should probably be able to talk to him. And I stood there as he approached Cary-Hiroyuki, and, like, a security guard almost took out Johnny. Poor Johnny. But, like, I looked at Cary and I'm like, he just wants to thank you. And he, like, waved his security guard off. And they have this wonderful moment. And like you said, it's the story that you tell. It's the story that I tell. It was one of these great moments of, like, just humanity existing from, like, somebody who has an elevated status. To quote Joey, the 20th episode of Joey, but actors are America's royalty. They kind of are, right? Like, they nailed that in 2000.
If we start bookending with Joey, we can't do that, man.
No, I promise we're not going to book. There's more. There's more than Joey that features Cary-Hiroyuki Tagawa. I promise. Like, but I don't think you're ready for it. I'm just being honest with you. But like that moment was one of those crazy. But we also sitting in the Devon Decker Memorial Lounge. We watched that girl chase after Richard Gere and get fucking stiff-armed by a security guard. Like, that's a thing that we also witnessed. So it's just like, it's about being chill with these people, like treating them like human beings and not like gods. I don't know. All right. So, Sejin, guess what I did on Monday? Purely by accident. That involves Cary-Hiroyuki Tagawa.
Did you stumble into Mortal Kombat Annihilation somehow?
Wow, he's close, people. Sejin, I tell you, you're close. Did you know that in 2010, a Tekken movie was made? A live-action Tekken film?
Yeah! Shit.
I sure as hell didn't, and I fucking love Tekken.
Yeah, Tekken. So Tekken, DOA, and then the original Mortal Kombats, I think, are like one hell of a package of video game films. I like the new Mortal Kombat. I'm looking really forward to the sequel.
God, good.
That is a different type of movie than those, I think.
Yes, I agree. And we also looked at something like Street Fighter on this show.
Yeah. Street Fighter is another good one too. Yeah,
but Tekken. Of all the movies that you have just mentioned, first of all, the film never got a theatrical release in America. That is the first thing about the Tekken movie that you just have to know.
I definitely sailed the high seas for that one, I'll be honest. I'm not surprised.
It premiered in Japan. Japan hated it so much that they're like, we're just going to release this straight to DVD in America. This is not getting a theatrical release. That's what happened with it. Because let me tell you, if I heard that a Tekken movie was coming out to theaters, I would have been there day one. Because, oh my fucking God, am I a big fan of the Tekken games. I will admit that. Mm-hmm. Cary-Hiroyuki Tagawa plays Hayachi Mashima in it. He looks so fucking good as Hayachi. He's got the hair, and he's just like owning all the scenes, and it is such a departure from the Tekken video games where Hayachi is kind of the big bad in the world, where like he's almost a sort of sympathetic character in the movie because his son Kazuya is like so prone on like usually in the Tekken games, Kazuya as his child trying to take his rightful place from like the Iron Fist, which is all Tekken translates to, that Hayachi represents. Like, what the fuck? Kazuya's the hero, but they make Kazuya the villain. The movie's insane. Go see the Tekken movie if you haven't done it. Cary-Hiroyuki, he looks so good as Hayachi, and he plays the role so well. I'm so glad that you saw this movie. I was just like flipping through the channels to have something on as background noise while we made dinner. And I'm like, oh, Tekken. I didn't know there was a Tekken movie. I half expected it to be like computer animated or animation.
There is an anime one that's really cool. It's not as good as the Splinter Cell anime that's out right now. By the way, if you've not seen any of that, watch that fucking anime. It is so good. But yeah, there's an anime one that did come out eventually. But you know what one I've never seen that I think I now need to go find is apparently there's a fucking Tekken 2.
I know that still has Cary-Hiroyuki in it. Kazuya's Revenge. I want to watch it. I want to watch that. But the animated one you're talking about is Blood Vengeance. That was legitimately made in response to how poorly the live action one was like received. But
it looks like it's one that Netflix picked up as well. So yeah.
So I don't know.
Check that one out.
I really I could not. It was such a good adaptation of a fighting game. Like, you talked about all those fighting game movies that exist, right? But in terms of, like, how it, like, chose the fighters and how it was, like, an indoor arena, but then it would choose that, like, the ancient temple. And then a bunch of set pieces would come in so that they're still fighting indoors for an audience, but it looks like they're in an ancient temple. Like, it was such a coolly put together production. I was blown away. But yeah, I'm like, when did this start? And it literally had not started yet. I caught this movie on cable on like Stars or one of the pay cable channels from the beginning. And I'm like, fuck, I guess I'm watching Tekken now. And I'm so happy that I did. And I'm so happy that you've seen it. And like, yeah, Tekken 2, we should probably have that down.
I'm getting it. I think I'm getting it conflated a lot with 2006's Dead or Alive. Yeah. How weird does it actually get? Because one of the big things about Tekken is that like it gets weird in its own kind of unique way.
So it doesn't get nearly weird enough. They have set it in a post-apocalyptic society where, like, people live outside of the domed city known as Tekken City. And that stuff is crazy. Like, it really gives, like, Running Man 1980 vibes. I know it didn't come out in 1980, but the one that came out in the 80s, Running Man vibes, in a lot of ways. Okay. But, like, there's no fucking Kuma. There's no bear that's fighting. Yoshimitsu, for all intents and purposes, is not a fucking robot. He is a guy in cybernetic armor. The weirdest that it legitimately gets is the fact that Brian Fury, who in the games has had this done to him, he has like flex steel replacing his skeleton. So he's like a cybernetic combatant. But there's a whole thing about how it's illegal to be cybernetically enhanced and compete in the tournament. So, like, Kazuya's fully aware of that, and he's allowing him to compete, but he holds it over his head to make sure that Brian Fury will, like, do things that he wants. Also, the craziest thing that happens in this movie is Kelly Overton plays Christy Montero, a character that was introduced in Tekken 4, and she legitimately wears her pants backwards so that she has ass cleavage. There's a lot of silence after me saying ass cleavage, Siege, and I don't like that.
I don't. Is it part of her moveset? Like,
okay, so like, I mean, she looks a lot like her outfits are really good. I kind of lost you there. I don't know if we like just overwhelmed all of society with this discussion, but one of the trivia pieces on it is so good. I want to read it. In a costume fitting, Kelly Overton, playing Christy, accidentally put her pants on backwards. The director liked it so much, he had her wear them so for the entirety of the film, contributing to the open quotation rear cleavage, close quotation, trend of the early 2010s. I've never, like, remembered butt cleavage in my lifetime.
I mean, there's definitely been, there was a thong era, right? Like, there was definitely the idea, like butts became a thing. Butts have always been a thing, you know. Like, but there was definitely a moment where butts rose to the top for a bit, as it were, right? And you know, this is across the board. You know, men liking women's butts, women liking women's butts, women like men's butts, like, all that shit, right? Like everybody liked butts for a while, and you know, you still see it in stuff like Tina on Bob's Burgers, right? Although that is a show that is now 15 years old.
16, but yeah.
Yeah.
16 seasons, 15 years. You're right. Credit to you. We're
yeah. But there's this idea that but the idea that I don't remember anybody else wearing their pants backwards to achieve it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's like crazy. And it's like straight up, it looks like cleavage. And then honestly, if we're going to go into the whole butts of it all, the reason that a cartoon heart looks like what a cartoon heart looks like, it is supposed to mimic the buttocks when somebody is bent over. That's where, like, the cartoon depiction of a heart comes from. And cleavage, like décolletage cleavage, in its original, like, fashion, like, representation, was supposed to remind people of what a butt looks like. Right? Like, if you think about the curves and the crack. Like, those are real things that I know because I had to take multiple history classes for costuming class on fashion and things like that. So you're not wrong, but like butts are a big part of what we find attractive, even when it comes to breasts and friggin' the innocuous representation of hearts. I mean, like, what the hell? Valentine's Day is happening the Saturday after this episode releases. This seems like an appropriate time to have this conversation in an episode titled Moms Love Wonder Man. Fuck, Siegen, what is this show sometimes?
Therapy?
Yeah, sometimes. Oh, man, no. The therapy comes before we start recording so that I don't accidentally share too much of myself in the episode and then have to scrub the entire recording.
Yes, more think about that in the future, people.
Yeah. Yeah. Think about the shit that you actually hear us record and then wonder what else might they have talked about had Devin not cleared his, like, mental pipeways before we started. That's just facts. But yeah, Tekken, if you've never seen it, and there's a good chance that you haven't, it is worth watching. There's some really cool stuff in it. But in terms of how crazy it gets, it is hyper realistic despite being set in like 2039. There are no fighting bears. There are no living wooden statues. King is not in the game. And I know that King is just a guy who wears like a cheetah mask, but he's not.
Seems like the easiest one to then justify in this whole bit.
Yeah, exactly. He's not in it. The whole movie, Dale and I were just like on the edge of our seats, hoping that Jin would go fucking devil form. Like he gets the like cut on his head where his third eye grows, and we're like, oh my god, is he gonna go fucking devil form? It never happens in the movie, but like that would have been like almost a bridge too far for the realism that was on display in the film.
I think this kind of explains why Japan was not a fan, because like I said before, like part of the draw of Tekken as a series that has allowed it to endure the test of time, because not every fighting series has. Most of them have honestly gotten eaten by the others. But yeah. Why Tekken stands is its weird ass lore. Like the whole business like struggle, like the dynasty of like I want to leave my son in charge. I don't want to leave my son in charge. I want to be in charge. Like some clone of me is now in charge. Like that kind of shit is fucking nuts.
No, the really crazy thing about Tekken is that the first Tekken ends with friggin' either Hayachi or Kazuya, I do not remember, dropping the other one into a volcano, and then the second game ends with that being reversed. So, like, father drops son into volcano, and then son drops father into volcano, or vice versa. Like, that's what I think of when I think about Tekken, is the fact that, much like the One Ring from Lord of the Rings, somebody drops the other person into a volcano for the finality of their defeat. And yet somehow they survive.
Well, and then all of it is in the name of, like, some corporate bullshit.
Yeah. Like, that's the other thing. Is that, like
I'm dropping you into this volcano because I don't want you to inherit the business from me.
Yeah, it's like if Devin Pritchard dropped Doug Bowser into a volcano, and that's how she became president of Nintendo of America. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, the whole thing between the Iron Fist, the Iron Fist tournament that Tekken represents is like all of the corporations left on Earth are fighting, and whoever wins the tournament is like now the number one corporation. Like, it's like, instead of just competing with who can make the most money, we're also going to train a fighter who represents our corporation. And then if they beat your best fighter, we're now the best company. But the last thing is that Katsuhiro Harada, the creator and producer of Tekken, was not allowed to supervise the film and has clearly stated it has no relation to the true story of Tekken. It's simply the imagination of how some of these relationships could have gone differently. Okay. So it's like an Elseworlds
Did he say
tale.
The true story or the true story?
Yeah.
Because inflection changes.
I don't know. I mean, it's written, so it depends on the inflection. True story is not in quotation marks. So I think it's more like the canon or the intended story by him as the creator of the franchise. All I know is that...
He just knows something we don't know. That's all I'm saying.
You're right. Who knows? All I know is, considering Soul Calibur is, by all accounts, dead and buried, Tekken is where I'm getting my 3D fighting fix. And Tekken 8 was so fucking good. I loved Tekken 8 so much. And I loved the movie. I really enjoyed the film. So if you're looking for a good, like, fighting game representation movie, while we're looking at, like, a Street Fighter movie is coming out, Mortal Kombat 2 is coming out, like, check out Tekken. It's 16 years old. It went straight to DVD in America, but it's got some real, like, meat there. As a fan of the series, I was not disappointed. So yeah, there we go. There we go about Tekken.
Good shit, man.
I really enjoyed it. I have a question for you while we try to fill the end of this episode. I asked you if you could see the Anaconda movie that released last year, because I don't want it ruined for you, and I don't want to be the one to ruin it for you. Have you gotten a chance to see Anaconda 2025 yet?
No. Where did you ask me that?
I think I might have put it in our Discord, just to be honest. I think in general.
Oh, in general. Yeah, no, I have not gotten the chance to see it yet. It's one that I plan on watching on a plane sometime in the future. That's how I kind of feel about it right now.
Dude, the only thing, I'm saying this to everybody, there are things in that film that can be spoiled for you, and the fact that they were not spoiled for me made that film so much more enjoyable. That and watching the 1997 Anaconda the day before we watched the new Anaconda. Completely spoiler-free review of the Jack Black, Paul Rudd Anaconda film. I fucking loved it, and I expected to hate it. It was such a fun time. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to say anything more. Is a good one, though, Sejin. Is worth watching, and not just on a plane someday. But I understand why that is how you think it is best consumed. Much like the art of racing in the rain. Which... All right. Anything else you want to make sure we touch on? Or I think we got an episode of the Say Report, right? I think we did it. Anything else?
Nope. Just like week 26 of Chrome Alone still not being available anywhere.
Yeah, I mean that's jeez. I don't know how it's still not available. It's crazy to me that it's still not available.
At this point, they're holding on to it for Christmas. That's what I've just resigned myself to. They're holding on to it until the next holiday, and then they'll post it somewhere.
Yeah. And that's true. And that way they can start up the whole hype machine for the new film that's going to be coming out in 2027. I don't know. I kind of Ninja Turtled myself out this morning. I went down sort of a weird rabbit hole about how people feel about some of the guest artists from the Mirage era.
Why would you do that? There are many cesspools out in the world of fandom, but none that I despise more than turtle fandom.
I mean, I'm right there with you. Like I have waded into some dark territories regarding turtle fandom. You're not wrong about that. I was just like, I saw some of my favorite like covers from like Tom McSweeney covers and things like that. And I'm like, oh man, I love those covers. And then like I would like just read some of the comments and I'm just like, dude, like people just don't understand how much like whenever I hear people like complain about an adaptation of the Ninja Turtles, it's just like, that's all they are. The reason that they continue to persist is that baked into the DNA of the Ninja Turtles is the fact that the story is malleable. That Peter and Kevin were willing to let people put their own spin on their characters. Even the most beloved Ninja Turtles franchise, which is the 1987's cartoon, is so far from what that story and property started as.
Right, yeah.
And like, so I don't know. And it was a mistake. I admit that. Which is why I don't want to continue to talk about it.
I can't. Yeah, no. I honestly can't think of any other IP that has succeeded as much as Turtles has as an IP, while also allowing that kind of flexibility. Because like I think about things like Lunatics, right? Lunatics Unleashed,
yeah.
Right? Like where like they tried to do a different genre with the Looney Tunes, and it fell so fucking flat that they've never really tried anything else. You know. The most I can think is maybe like Muppets versus Muppet Babies, maybe because they were like, hey, we can do an animated one too, but that doesn't seem like as big of a leap.
No, and also Muppet Babies, they were at least introduced in Muppets Take Manhattan, right? Or is it The Great Muppet Caper? One of them, the whole
Muppets Take Manhattan.
Yeah,
it's not The Great Muppet Caper.
Because the whole look of I've never seen either of those films. I'll admit that.
Great Muppet Caper is my favorite Muppet movie. All right, sorry.
Well, maybe we'll get on it. The Muppet movie is like what I think of when I think of the Muppets, and then I saw Christmas Carol a bunch of times when it came out, and I've never finished Treasure Island because I always fall asleep when they get on the boat, tying back to the fact that the ocean soothes me. Like just straight up, we have cabin fever and Devin Decker is asleep. I've never seen past that scene. There's just facts. Nice. These are just the facts of the as they are being presented in this episode of the Say Report. But yeah, we'll talk about it. But like, yeah, Muppet Babies, like the look of Kermit in his little sailor suit, Piggy in her pink frilly dress, all of that is based on the appearance in the Muppets Take Manhattan. So like there was
already kind of tied in.
Yeah. Which I think is great, like that they didn't just invent something. It's actually one of the reasons why I think that the modern Muppet Babies sort of fails to catch the same sort of audience. That and the fact that they can't just like put whatever they want footage-wise into it because of licensing and the protective nature of IPs.
It's not the same kind of show. I mean, it is very the new one is trying. The new one is what's the word I'm looking for? It is designed, styled as a edutainment show for small children. You know, much in the same way that something like as much as Bluey is, you know, or as much as Doc McStuffin is. Like there's always some moral or something that they're going for. That's not what the original Muppet Babies is about at all.
No, the Muppet, you know, you say that, but like I feel like Muppet Babies is one of the reasons I'm able to be so imaginative. Like,
their goals were just different. That's all.
Yeah, because it definitely taught me how to use my imagination in a lot of ways, and I think that is something that people need to be educated on. I think that this world where like we're just constantly entertained, like because we have computers that we can hold in the palm of our hands, like like, I feel like people are losing the ability to just entertain themselves in the ways that the Muppet Babies are when they're stuck in the fucking nursery. Sorry, I don't mean to be mad about it. I'm just being honest. Like, it taught me how to entertain myself. And I think that's something that we're kind of lacking with kids today, is the way to, if you have nothing, how to pass the time. That's just me talking, right? I don't know. All right. So if that does it, there's nothing else from Sejin, and there's nothing else from me. Sejin, last looks before I go into my final speech here.
No, I mean, buckle up. 2026 is in full effect, and we're still without snow in Utah, so I'm scared shitless. Can't wait to see y'all next week.
You can come here and borrow some of the fucking snow that I'm so tired of snow, man. Like, there's nowhere to put it anymore. And we just got 8 more inches yesterday. I'm tired of the white stuff. Anywho, also, I guess go Patriots, right? I know you might not be watching it, but you're still rooting for
I'm
New
going to end up watching it. Yeah, no, I'm going to end up watching it. It's just that I'm not going to design my whole day around it.
I get that. I understand. I mean, like I said, I've had a complicated relationship with football since the pandemic. I think that, and it still hasn't. This is the year I've watched the most football. I will straight up admit that. And I've enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed all the football that I've watched. But there was a time there where, I don't know how I feel about this. I think I might do something else with my time. But, football is great when you're at the bar. I love it in the background. I don't know. We'll see. Go Pats! I'll say that. I know that by the time this releases, we'll already know what happened. Do we want to say congratulations to the Patriots on their 7th Super Bowl win, Sejin? Do we want to say that? Hopefully tempting fate? I need you to co-sign, brother. I need you to co-sign or to not co-sign.
All right.
That, you son of a bitch. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this episode of the Say Report. If you want to keep the conversation going, there's always Say Report Junior, new episodes every Friday, or you can join our Discord. Invitations to join the Discord are available wherever we are on social media, which as of this recording is still X, formerly Twitter, and Facebook. Just go to our bio section and you'll see an invitation link to join the Discord. If you're not on social media, which nobody here can blame you, especially since one of us is no longer on social media, you can always contact us directly. It's thesayreport@gmail.com, and we can facilitate you with a link to join the Discord. Or if the Discord feels too much like social media and you don't want to get involved with that, you can just correspond with us via email, like it's the turn of the millennium. So just send your emails to thesayreport@gmail.com. The most important thing to remember is that if it's for me, Devin Decker, or for him, Sejin Sarowick, put our name in the subject line. It will be distributed appropriately to the Say Reporter you wish to correspond with. But please keep in mind that if you send something to Sejin or to myself, we read it and we think it's worth mentioning on the show, there's a chance we're going to talk about it on the show. Anything contributed to us might wind up as material for the show. I have to say that for the non-existent lawyers, it also kind of flows nicely with this whole speech I do at the end. All of that being said, I apologize for my coughing today. A lot of excitement and just a lot of fucking cold, dry air. I will be better next week. And all of that, another Go Patriots, and William, please bring us home. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Say Report with your host Devin Decker and Sejin Sarowick. Please follow the guys on Twitter and Facebook by searching for The Say Report, and you can always subscribe on your podcast channel so this is delivered straight to you and you can enjoy it every week. With apologies to your mother, we'll see you next time.